you know we got to talk more Star Wars. Star Wars, baby. So a lot of speculation on what is going on for The Force Awakens. We had the trailer, which was amazing. I absolutely love the trailer. I thought it really brings still lots of mystery, but yet a lot of insight as well, what we're going to head into. And a lot of the theories and a lot of the spoilers and leaks that are out there could be very much true, especially with Harrison Ford's character. But we're not talking about Harrison Ford's character. We're talking about Luke Skywalker and how absent he was in the trailer. Now, a lot of people think that's Luke Skywalker with R2D2 putting his hand on him, and I love that moment. Hopefully that is Luke Skywalker. I mean, who else would it be? It actually might be a flashback, honestly. It might be a flashback, and then it goes, because Luke looks a little skinny there, honestly. Now, a lot of the speculation as well is, why is Luke in hiding? What is with Luke? Is Luke Kylo Ren? I don't think Luke is Kylo Ren. And also the situation with Daisy Ridley's character. Is she basically the daughter of Han and Leia, or is she the daughter of Luke Skywalker? And actually, Kylo Ren is the son of Han and Leia. We have no clue. I've heard that thrown out there, which kind of makes sense. How Luke would establish a Jedi Council and use Luke and or Han and Leia's son, which would be Kylo Ren, and establish a Jedi Order, yet it failed miserably. So now he's in hiding. Now they had to hide Daisy Ridley's character. So there's that speculation, and it kind of makes a little bit of sense. And that's actually a very interesting deduction, and it would give both not only Luke but Leia some offsprings from the Skywalker family, and it would make sense why Kylo Ren would want to follow the path of Darth Vader. Luke Skywalker, I said in my previous videos that he, if anything, I think Domhnall Gleeson would be his son. It could still happen. There's one leak out there that could actually make that happen, and it could be a spy kind of thing going on there. But at this point, I'm just going to have to face the facts that they won't give Luke Skywalker an offspring. They won't give him any children, which is kind of BS. I really wanted Luke to have children, wanted to have... as you know, in the expanded universe, he has a son named Ben Skywalker. And his wife, of course, is Mara Jade, which is one of my favorite expanded universe characters in the Star Wars lore. And it would have been nice if they did just a little tip to the hat on that aspect of it, but I just don't think it's going to work but if they don't have it in here, I guess it's all just, if it works. If it doesn't, it's not needed for the story they're going to tell. It is what it is. But as somebody is a Skywalker, we know that somebody is a Skywalker. It would be very interesting if Finn is actually a Skywalker as well. It would be very interesting if Finn was related to Harrison Ford, and that's actually Harrison Ford's son, because we know Harrison Ford had a previous wife, and she is of African American descent. So that would be very interesting as well. A lot of things, speculations, a lot of things coming away from this trailer. Now, the aspect of Luke Skywalker not being in this trailer, I think there was a certain little footage or little photos I've seen. If you don't want to hear it, I'm just going to spoil it real quick. But basically, spoiler alert, Luke is in a cave. He's guarding a tomb, and he's in a refugee kind of camp. I have that video on one of my playlists, on the Star Wars playlist, if you want to check that out. So that could be definitely the circumstance right there, where he is guarding an ancient tomb, an ancient Sith Lord. So that would be very interesting as well. And I think them not showcasing Luke Skywalker in the trailers is because that's the one character we want to know what happened the most, and that's the one character that might be connected to the whole overall storyline. First, we hear that this whole story revolves around his severed hand, his lightsaber, many things like that. It revolves around maybe him guarding an ancient tomb, the Sith tomb, and maybe regards of him failing as a Jedi Council. I think he is that of a Ben Kenobi, an Obi-Wan Kenobi from the original trilogy and from the prequels, where he's just basically he has to maybe somewhat pass on knowledge to these new characters, but in the end he maybe pass on himself. I said in my other video that what if what if Luke Skywalker ends up like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and basically he sacrifices himself to move these newer characters forward. I also said that, listen, as much as I love the original trilogy, and I don't want a George Lucas of repeating itself, using material from the original trilogy, speaking of deaths and all that. I want something unique. If you're going to kill off these beloved characters, kill them off in a fashion that we are not expecting. I said for Luke Skywalker, you would think he'd be killed off in a Jedi kind of fight, in a Jedi versus Sith kind of fight, in a duel, but I don't want that. I want something more unique. As we know, Luke Skywalker is an X-Wing pilot. He is one of the best pilots in the galaxy. Hell, he took out the Death Star. But what if he died in an X-Wing? That would be kind of something, a twist, something we didn't expect. I would be all on board for that, and how it's handled and handily done. I definitely would like to see that. Han Solo. How would we see Han Solo die? We always think that Han Solo is going to die in a heroic, sacrificial kind of moment or kind of thing. What if Han Solo dies of just old age? What if he dies in the sickness? I mean, wouldn't that be kind of more unique and crazy? I mean, he's older, so it'd be interesting to see him die of an old age. Maybe he outlives everybody. So but Luke Skywalker, I would like to see. I definitely think overall, I don't think he's Kylo Ren. I do think that story about him trying to establish a Jedi Council and it doesn't work could have happened. But the whole mystery is, why do they keep this? I mean, apparently the Empire, or the new order, is basically they still rule the galaxy. And the rebels, they won the battle, but apparently they didn't win necessarily the war. But everybody has been kind of like, nobody's been taught, it's a myth. The Force, the Sith, the Jedi, everything is a myth, apparently. Only for 30 years, though. If it was a longer time, then I would kind of agree on that. But for 30 years, and you're telling me nobody remembers when the rebels fought the Empire, nobody knows about the Force, nobody knows about Jedi. I mean, that's kind of 30 years. It's only been 30 years. So it's very interesting. And what has Luke been doing for those 30 years? If one council doesn't work, why didn't he do another council? I don't know. The whole mystery of Luke, it's just me spitballing and trying to think, what was Luke's whole purpose? The only thing I could really think of is he is guarding something very valuable, and the Order, or Kylo Ren himself and his knights, really want it. So very, very interesting stuff. I'm going to talk about real quick about Chewbacca and what Daisy Ridley might be crying over a dead body. It might be Han's. It might be somebody who's wearing a jacket. Mr. Sunday Movies has pointed this out. But if I had to bet and I'd guess, it would make sense that Chewie would die. It would make sense that Chewbacca will die. He has died before in the expanded universe. Why not die now? Chewbacca is a beloved character. However, you could see him as a sacrificial character. You could see him biting the dust. Han Solo, if he doesn't die this film, he'll die next film. That's what I said. But how long has Harrison Ford got, really? I mean, he wants to do Indiana Jones as well. But if I had to guess that who Daisy Ridley's on, it would be Chewbacca. And I think a lot of people have said that that's Chewbacca who is dead. And that's sad, but I could go for that. I could definitely see Chewbacca dying on this point. Now, BB-8 taking over for R2-D2. A lot of BB-8 stuff. A lot of people are starting to love BB-8 no matter, like, just already. I haven't seen BB-8 yet, so I'm not necessarily in love with this thing yet, but come on, R2-D2 is a boss. I would like to see another droid, but we'll see if BB-8 lives up to the hype. I think that's the only thing important is BB-8 living up to the hype, but that's it, guys. That's all I really want to talk about is Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, and BB-8. And overall, my thoughts on the speculation that's going around. But God, I have my ticket. I'm ready for the show. I'm ready to finally get another Star Wars film that is just... This feels promising. This feels like a Star Wars movie. J.J. Abrams, if you nail this film... You're already beloved by a lot of people, but you just ascended, my friend. You have just ascended. You have done what people thought could never be done, and that's make one of the best or the best Star Wars film in the franchise. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe, hit that button, like the video if you like it, and comment below. Love to hear your guys' thoughts on Dan Man, Son.